Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'll be talking about Montreal. If you don't know what Montreal is a city in Quebec, and Quebec is a province in Canada. So sit back, relax, and hear the reasons why I said you should not move to Montreal in Quebec. Disclaimers, guys. I'm not saying that Montreal is a bad place. No, Montreal is not a bad place. But I'm here to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of living in Montreal and why you should not move to Montreal. I'm here to talk about my experience of living in Montreal. This message is basically to all intending immigrants, wherever you are. This message is for you. Okay, now I will start by talking about the advantages of living in Montreal. So when you live in Montreal, life is basically cheap in Montreal. Like accommodation is cheap, health is cheap, food is cheap in Montreal. School, like colleges, they are cheap. Transportation, when you just migrated to Montreal, one of the advantages is there are organizations who are ready to help you settle down quickly and easily. There are also churches, like the church I attend, the Transfiguration of our Lord. They really help us in settling down quickly. If we were to judge with the church, we will not relocate from Montreal. From this, I will say thank you to Father John, thank you to Angela and Michael and other parishioners of the Transfiguration of our Lord. We say big thank you. We did not forget the good you did for us. We really appreciate everything. Outside church, outside the support we got for church, what happens when you go to the grocery? What happens when you go on the streets, in the community, in the metro? What happens at your workplace? What happens when you need an employment? That takes me to the disadvantages of living in Montreal. The major disadvantages of living in Montreal is nothing but language barrier. If you don't speak French, don't move to Montreal. Period. Do not come to Montreal because that language barrier is associated with a lot of negative effects. This is the basic reason why you should not move to Montreal. Do not say, oh, when I move to Montreal, I will learn the language. No, or you may not be able to learn the language because the language is not that easy to learn. It's not the only thing you'll be doing. You have work to attend. You have children to attend to. You have other things you'll be doing. And their type of French is not even so easy for you to learn. If you must move to Montreal, just start learning the language right from your country. Learn the language, or better still, look for another province, English speaking province, and move to that place. So I'll be talking about all negative effect that is associated with the language barrier. Number one negative effect it has is your private life become probably. Let's assume you receive an email from an organization or from immigration. Email that is supposed to be something that you just read and move ahead. You will open the email, everything is written in French. We are literally living a blind life for 1 year without knowing that Google Translator exists. When we have a private message, we take it outside for people to translate it for us. Sometimes they are not even able to translate it for us because what the message is saying in French, when they translate it in English, is going backward. Like maybe you have a message of I am going. When you translate it in French, it's going to be going I am. How are you even going to understand that? And when you are translating with Google Translator, you have a big message like this. Google Translator will not even be able to translate it for you at once. That means you have to be taking picture, translating it bit by bit. How long do you think that will even take you to do? So number two negative effect is the children were bullied in school just because they were not able to speak French. There was a message I got from school on one occasion that the child, it's my child, and ran away. The reason why they are sending message for me is in case my child gets sick, that will know where it's coming from. Then I sent a message to the school that they should send message to all parents to tell their children not to bully other school pupils just because they don't speak French. So aside that, I never get any report from school again. I believe they passed the message to parents and their children acted on it. So apart from that, my son became angry in school all the time. I was always getting report from school that my son spoiled one or two things. So when my son came home, I asked him why. He never told me. It was when we left Montreal that he told me that because of that language, they were forced to learn the language. That was why he was triggered to anger. That even at recreation, playtime, they mistakenly speak French. They will there from their class. That was why he was always angry. Then I asked him, why didn't you tell me all this? He said no, that the reason why he did not tell me is when we just moved to Montreal newly, I told them that they should speak French before we would locate out of Montreal. I just told him that because I just be serious with the language. I never knew that he took it to heart. So parents, don't tell your children that, so that they will be open to you whenever they are going through challenges. Children will bring assignment from school or message will come from school. I don't know what the message is talking about. Several challenges like that. Apart from that, you are walking in the street stranded. You are seeking for direction and you meet one or two person. Once you ask them, please can you show me the way to go, the next thing you hear from them is pas anglais, parler français. What that means is I don't speak English, speak French. Can you just imagine? And a lot of them that do that actually know how to speak English, but they don't just want to speak English with you. They want to make sure that you really go to French school and learn. It's not like I did not start French school before. I started French school. I attended for 2 months or 3 months before I stopped. The reason was you are going to French school, they are just teaching you in French everything. You don't have knowledge of French before. They are just teaching you everything in French. So when we ask, since we are new, we don't even know anything in French, why don't you teach in French, then a little bit combine it with English so that we know what you are talking about. They will tell you this is French school, you are not allowed to even use English to teach, and it becomes really complicated that I do not have any option than to pull out from the French school. Because outside that, when I come from French school, I'll go to work. They come from work, they attend to the children assignments. I was not even able to attend to their assignments. I was not even able to attend because they come home with French assignments. So me that don't even know how to speak French, how am I even going to help them? They were basically their own teacher at home. They were doing their homework all by themselves. My first son was literally his own teacher all by himself at home and also helping his brother. Another disadvantages language barrier have on you when you live in Montreal is grocery. When you go to grocery and you shop, when they eventually calculate for you and give you the receipt, when you look at the receipt, you don't know what the receipt is talking about. You don't know if they under-calculated for you or over-calculated for you. I have one incident where they over-calculated for me. This time I was understanding the French a little bit, as in understanding the receipt whenever I go to the grocery. So whenever I go to the grocery, after I shop, I will just cross-check the list. I did not realize that they calculated one item twice, so I went back and they rectified it. Just imagine when I was new there, who knows how many things they over-calculated for me that I paid for. So then the big challenge about living in Montreal when you don't speak French is employment. That is the big challenge. That is a work which you would have ordinarily gotten if you speak French, you will not get it. That ordinarily when you live in a province that speak English, you will not want to work that work. You will not get it. You will not get it. They will say you need to speak French, and it's true, you need to speak French because people are coming to buy from the shop. If you don't speak French, how are you going to communicate or sell with them? I have an experience when I just relocated to Montreal newly. I got a work in the restaurants. I was supposed to be in the front desk, but because I don't speak French, they put me in the kitchen. Because if they put me in the front desk, what am I going to communicate with the customer that are coming to buy? So I was put in the kitchen, and what my eyes saw in that kitchen with one of the colleagues, it was terrible. This colleague will literally bully me just because I don't speak French. Anytime girl bullies me, that is another topic, because if I want to talk about that, this video will be too lengthy, so that will be a separate video. Working in this restaurant, I was doing a personal support worker training, of which when I finished the training, I was looking for a job. Then pandemic just started, so I applied to some job. They did not take me. They said I should speak French. A lot of facility were looking for people to work for them because their employees stopped working, so they were looking for people that will volunteer to work for them. So I make an application and they sent me a employment letter. When I opened it, it were all written in French. I was like, how do I fill this form? So I called the organization to let them know that I received the email, but I don't know how to speak French. I don't know how I will fill the form. What they said to me is, everybody in that facility speak French, but if I must work with them, must speak French. That was the end. Did not take me. I broke down in tears. I was crying. It's not this I'm laughing at. I was crying. I was like, language? Why am I living here? That was when it was done on me that no, I should do something about it. But nevertheless, I still continue searching for a job. But this time around, it was no longer a voluntary job. It was a job that I could be paid, but yet I was not getting because of this language. It was so painful that I have to send message to the church, Transfiguration for Our Lord. They came into the picture again. I sent message to the church. I was like, I'll be looking for a job. I'm not getting. They always tell me if I don't speak French, they can't continue with me. That is when the secretary of the church told me to send my resume to her. Then she distributed it to all parishioners, telling them that there's a parishioner that needs a job, that they should send it out, that if there is any recruiter that wants to recruit, they should connect me. That was how I eventually got one. I got one. I was happy and I went. So I was working now. Another challenge again. I'm working with a resident. He's telling me this is what he wants in French, and I don't know. That was when it was done on me. No, Joy, you can't continue to do this. You need to find a way out. A resident is telling me I want to go to bed. I'm thinking that the resident wants to eat. You see? So that was when I knew that I was doing a risky job by not understanding what my client is talking about. And it was then I realized that the other recruiter that refused to give me job, that I've been saying that I must speak French before I go with me, will not be biased, because see, I'm experiencing it now. They are talking to me in French, I'm not understanding it. And the other employee will still use you because you don't speak French. They want you to do the harder work. Even when you need help from them, they will not want to help. Other challenges they face in school is when they move the in-person school to online. You know, during pandemic, school stopped running. The children stayed at home for like 3 months without going to school. So the school sent message to all parents that they can't continue to close the school. Instead, they sent computer to different homes so that the children could join the online classes. So our computer came. The next day, when the children were about to join the class, we opened the system, we log in. After logging in, we don't know where to join the class. Everything was written in French. That was when it was dawned on me that I aren't going to continue. I am moving. I am leaving Montreal. That was when it was dawned on me that no, enough is enough. I've had a lot of challenges. My own, I was trying to cope. Now it has gotten to the extent that the children cannot even join the class because we don't know how to join the class with the computer. Just imagine if that pandemic lasted for how long, like years or months. That means the children will be out of school. That was when we relocated out of Montreal, and when we moved to the province we are now, we discovered that the children were even one class demoted because of they don't understand the language. How do we know? In admission, they asked us what class they were. We told them. They said no, they are not going to be in that class. They are going to be one class ahead. We said no, that is not the class. They said that was for that province. You see? So with all this, I hope you have known the reason why you shouldn't just move to Montreal. If you check Google, Montreal says their official language is English and French. That is just in Google. They don't practice it. What they practice is French. Is in French. Everything is in French. The thing you've checked Google, they said Montreal they speak English and French. You are lying. You will come here and face only French. They'll be talking in only French. You will not hear. If you still want to move to Montreal, good luck. Bye guys. See you in my next video. Bye.